Welcome to The Bold. In this exclusive feature, I dive deep on the life of slain ICC lawyer Paul Gicheru. According to his family, he had late lunch and felt unwell and went to bed but did not wake up. When the police were alarmed, they found him unresponsive at about 7 p.m. in the evening. The son too was reported to have collapsed and was taken to Karen Hospital in stable condition. A report filed at Karen police station claimed that he was found emitting foam from his mouth, raising claims that he was poisoned. Paul Gicheru's death comes nearly 2 months after Christopher Koech, a key witness in the ICC case, died under unclear circumstances. The Karkunga primary school head teacher allegedly disappeared after driving to school based in Mumias, Kakamega, on July 16th. His lifeless body was later found lying next to his motorbike in Shibuli Market in the county. The teacher passed away days before flying to Hague to testify in lawyer Paul Gicheru's ICC case. But many have been asking the big question: who is Paul Gicheru? Paul Gicheru was born in 1970 and was 52 years of age until the time of his death. He studied in Kapsabet Boys High School between 1987 and 1990, same school with current President William Samoei Ruto, who later became his client. After Kapsabet High School, Paul then proceeded to the University of Nairobi, where he studied law, and then Kenya School of Law for postgraduate diploma in law. During his early years as an advocate, he established his base in Eldoret. Despite being a Gikuyu origin, the people of Eldoret, mostly Kalenjins, embraced him and many sought him for legal representation. The fact that he was born and raised in Uasin Gishu allowed him to speak fluent Kalenjin, and that was an added advantage for him to establish a base in Eldoret. Paul Gicheru first hit the spotlight in 2014 when the then National Treasury CS Henry Rotich appointed him to the head of Public Procurement Review Board, a position he served up to the 2nd of October 2016 when he was interdicted. On 10th September 2015, Hague-based International Criminal Court issued public warrant of arrest on late Gicheru and another prominent Kenyan, Philip Koech Bet, who is still at large over allegations of witness interference as the cases of humanity breach against William Ruto and Joshua Rapsang, the radio journalist. 5 years down the line, the country was shocked on November 2nd when Paul Gicheru surrendered to the Dutch authorities after landing in Amsterdam accompanied by his wife. The Dutch authorities then processed him and he was handed over to the ICC that has had an outstanding warrant against Gicheru and 2 other Kenyans. Remember, back home, he had already gone to court and challenged a warrant of arrest, and that is why the Kenyan authorities, who did not cooperate with the ICC, did not produce him to the ICC before. The shocking move by Gicheru to surrender himself to ICC was criticized largely by Kenyan political pundits who argued that it was a ploy for him to revive the cases for political reasons. Remember, by then, William Samoei Ruto, who he was accused of interfering on witnesses against his case, was vying for the largest office in the land, the Kenyan presidency. His lawyer back home, George Haminwa, had contacted Gicheru's wife by then, seeking to understand why he took a drastic decision of leaving Kenya for the Netherlands without even informing his lawyer George Haminwa. And the response of the wife was that they sat down as a family, weighed on the issue, and decided it was time for Gicheru to face his accusers. The pre-trial chamber was held in February this year, and in June, the International Criminal Court ICC closed the trial of lawyer Gicheru over the alleged bribery of witnesses that were to testify against President William Ruto concerning the 2007 post-election violence that left 1,200 people dead. His lawyers and ICC prosecutors clashed on their counter-arguments at the end of the trial that lasted for 19 months, where Ruto was mentioned multiple times. Trial Judge Miata Maria Samba said the chamber will deliberate on the proceedings and within a reasonable period pronounce its decision on either conviction or acquittal of Paul Gicheru. And there are questions that has emerged on the death of Paul Gicheru, with many asking whether there is a correlation between the ICC cases that were still going on, or rather that was revived, while many have also argued, why did the lawyer move back to Kenya instead of staying in safe custody in Netherlands? But at what point did he return back? The police are yet to complete investigations into the death of Paul Gicheru, while the reports that were received was that journalists who tried to access his house in Karen were actually blocked from the gate, while the family confirmed that they will be giving a full statement on what exactly might have caused the death of Paul Gicheru, or rather to give the last accounts of him. It is of importance to mention the court had issued the warrants of arrest on 3 Kenyans, not only Paul Gicheru alone, but alongside Walter Baraza and Philip Bett, both of whom are still at large and had not produced themselves to the ICC. The prosecutor alleged that there existed from at least April 2013 a criminal scheme designed to systematically approach and corruptly influence the witnesses of prosecutor through bribery and other methods of inducements in exchange for withdrawal as prosecution witnesses or recantation of prior statements by the witnesses. The evidence indicated that the said scheme was run in an organized manner and with a clear distribution of tasks. In particular, Gicheru was pointed out as the manager and coordinator of the scheme, meaning that he has finalized agreements with corrupted witnesses, organized the formalization of the withdrawal, and handled the payment. The role of Mr. Bett was contact to the witness, at least some of whom they knew previously, and to make initial proposals before bringing them to the manager, particularly known as Paul Gicheru. The evidence indicated that a similar role within the same scheme was exercised by Walter Osapiri Baraza, for whom a warrant of arrest had been issued by the court on 2nd August 2013. There was also information that those witnesses who were successfully corrupted were enticed to make contact with other witnesses for the purpose of their corruption. It was also said that promised some witnesses some lumps of money, with the lawyer who went to the Kapseret High School really becoming a person of interest at the center of the ICC case.